Two of the most powerful ways to evangelize are told in this video. Let's go ahead and jump into it, and at the end, I'll tell you what they are. Before we jump into this, don't forget to like and subscribe.
So speaking on that, you said it wasn't a sermon, it wasn't a service or even deliverance that drew you. It was Jesus himself. And you had a direct encounter with him that changed everything for you. Can you kind of walk us through that moment and what specifically shifted your heart in those few minutes when you encountered Jesus?
Sure. So I think important to mention as well is that 10 days prior to my encounter with Christ, I met a person, a lady at a radio station who hugged me, who embraced me, and she literally snuck in like from the side and came and gave me a hug after I said on the radio station that I don't actually believe in Christ, and I don't believe that Jesus ever existed as a person or as the Son of God on this earth. I remember I specifically said something like Jesus is like the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus. Those were my words. Yet still this lady came and she hugged me. And I only found out 1 or 2 days later that she's actually a Christian. So that, and I'll tell you why that's important. So that stuck with me quite a lot because I wasn't used to Christians actually showing me any love or acceptance or anything like that. So here I meet this Christian and completely unconditional, just loving, just embracing. So a few days after that, I was supposed to perform a ritual, a satanic ritual that was at that time decided around the world by 7 different satanic organizations to check in on whether the Antichrist has been born yet or not. So each satanic organization had to appoint a person to perform that ritual. So because of my background at the time, that was in the occult as a professional practitioner and somebody who actively practiced ritual even before I got involved in Satanism, they thought it a good idea to appoint me to do the ritual. So when I started preparing for the ritual, so there's 5 candles that you're supposed to light at points of a star when you do satanic rituals. This is like a standard thing. So when I got to lighting the second candle, the whole room where I was doing this suddenly lit up as if there was a spotlight shown into the room. So my initial thoughts actually was that I'm either being pranked or I'm being watched by someone. And as I turned around, he was there. Jesus was standing there. And again, I didn't know that this was Jesus. So I asked him, "Who are you?" And he said to me, "My name is Yeshua of Nazareth." And I said to him, "You'll have to prove it, because I don't believe it."
Right. You're like, I don't even believe in you. I don't even believe you existed. Like as a person.
But you knew he was a spirit. You knew he was obviously not a person. Or like, what was your thought in that moment?
Yes, I knew it wasn't a person, but also remember, in Satanism, there's a lot of involvement of invoking demons and working with demons. So demons always appear in a certain way to occultists and people practicing very light, actually there's like a glow, lots of bells and whistles. Where there was nothing, there was no theatrics or anything. It was very simple, and that's why I asked him. So when I said to him, "You'll have to prove it," he flooded me with so much love. And because of that lady at the radio station, I recognized that love, because you see, she had Christ inside her.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So I immediately recognized that, like, this is real. And I remember I actually fell to my knees because I couldn't stay standing up. And as it said, every knee shall bow.
Right.
And it's definitely the truth. You can't contain yourself in that presence. And I don't remember whether this was like a minute or 2 minutes, but it was definitely not longer than that. But the whole world went quiet. And it was like somebody turned off the sound of the world. And I just sat on the floor in that quietness and that feeling of love. And
Yeah.
at that time of my life, I actually thought I was happy.
Okay, so the first thing I want you to think about is the testimony and how powerful it is and how many people it can reach. And there is nobody's testimony that is too big or too small to reach somebody. You just have to be vulnerable enough to share it. And the second thing is the lady that gave him a hug. I'm going to go ahead and read you 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 20 and 21. Now then, we are ambassadors for Christ, as though God were pleading through us. We implore you on Christ's behalf, be reconciled to God, for he made him who knew no sin to be sin for us, that we might become the righteousness of God in him. And I want you to think about the lady that gave the Satanist a hug, and the reason she was able to show him and let him feel the love of God through her. And that is because she was trying to be as close to Christ as she possibly could. And the only way to get closer to Christ is to be an ambassador for him, to look more like him, to strive to be like Christ. The more we do that, there is nobody that we cannot reach.